Oh my goodness. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate everybody. Sorry I had to end the last live. I see a lot of you in chat. Hello, Leah. Welcome back. Don't be hating. Hello. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome morning. Let's get some thumbs up in the chat for audio before we go too far. Is audio okay? Hi, everybody. Sorry, I had to end the live earlier. Literally, the computer crashed. Gracefully Salty, hello. Yeah, I wanted to do like a quick audio check, and as long as audio's good, then we can get into some hellos and chit chat. I think I have everything set. It shows on my end I'm good. Audio's good. Okay, sweet. Awesome. All right, well, hello, everyone. Happy November 1st. Hello, it's almost Thanksgiving. Welcome in, welcome in. We'll let some notifications click in. Sorry about the earlier live. James Moen, if you're listening, I know you had to go to work, sir, but if you listen to this on the replay, thank you so much for all of your super chats in the earlier live. I'm so sorry I had to end it. Okay, I truly appreciate you, sir. Always amazing, amazing, and I appreciate you. Momos, hello. Leah, hello. Good to see you again. Thanks for the thumbs up, Salty. Appreciate you. Momo, your son is 28 today. Well, happy birthday, Momo son. Happy birthday to you. My daughter has a birthday coming up this month, too. Typically unique. Hello, darling. Good to see you. Hopefully, Kane B comes back and Meg P comes back and, you know, everybody decides to come back. So sorry, guys. I think there was like 100 people earlier and my shit crashed. So everybody probably just went somewhere else, is my guess. Michelle F., hello. Good to see you. Hopefully you're still here. WB, 5th Brigade, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody. Yeah, let your friends know we're live again. Brooms up, bitches. We're back. We're back. Brooms up. Audio seems to be okay, and hopefully it doesn't crash again. Okay? I don't know what happened, but YouTube Studio literally crashed on me on the live. Sorry, guys. So sorry about that. Christie's Chaos. Good morning, honey. Good to see you. Welcome on in. I finally got a letter, an email back from Mr. Gamut yesterday, so that was nice regarding my 7,000 Liz Q 360 photos. So that was nice. Glad that I got that email. Too fast for Felice. Hello. You're so pretty. Thank you so much. Yes, we're back. We're back. And hopefully we don't crash again. YouTube Studio crashed. So I had to come to StreamYard. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to go to StreamYard. It always sucks for me. So hopefully, audio is going to hold up. We can get back to looking at some things. And yeah, I don't even know where we left off on the earlier live. I kind of do, but it's fine. It's fine. Mama Five, hello. Good to see you. Steven, hello. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Yes, too fast for fleas. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Are you working too fast? I feel like Saturdays, for some reason, you're usually working or doing yard work and listening. Steve says, is it crashing again or just my end? Fuck. Is it crashing? What's happening? What's Steve saying? Let me know, friends. Mike, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Christy says, just your end, Stephen. LOL. Too fast. You're about to start. Oh, you were hunting. Oh, nice. Now you're about to start your yard work. Yeah. Well, I hope you had some luck on your hunt. What were you hunting? I don't hunt. I used to, but I can't do it because I have too much empathy for animals. but I don't knock people who hunt, actually. I grew up hunting, plinking in the yard and stuff like that. Christy, thank you. I'm good. Momo says I'm good. Mama Five says I'm good. So it's got to be you, Stephen. Everybody else says it's good. Leah says it's good. Michelle says it's good. Coyotes. Oh, okay. Well, see, yeah, sometimes you got to do that too fast. Yeah, depending where you live and shit. Absolutely. Coyotes, they'll eat all your chickens. They'll eat all your livestock. They'll destroy your fucking any land you have, other wildlife and stuff. So yeah, sometimes you got to hunt coyotes. It is what it is. The coyotes. You mean actual animal coyotes, or do you mean the coyotes that traffic humans? Sometimes you gotta hunt both, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, welcome in everybody. I truly appreciate all of you being here. You know, thanks guys for coming back. I'm so sorry about the earlier live. We will get into this. Um, it's a lot, okay? So the Sheath has entered the chat officially. We're finally getting photos where it's labeled and being photographed and etc. We're getting reports on swabs. In the earlier live, I did want to clarify. I've had a lot of people coming to me asking me about where did the documents state anything about a male profile being on the back of the sheet, right? And it's item Q1.4. That is the best way that I can reference it. All of the documents that pertain to item Q1.4, lab reports that pertain to Q1.4, all a Q is the sheet. Q11 is the sample from the inside button snap that is allegedly single source mail that is Brian Kohberger, right? Q12, Q13, it's all labeled in their photo, okay, as we'll see when we get into it. Q14 is the area on the back of the sheath. Swabs of stains on the back of the sheath were taken. They tested presumptively positive for blood. That blood was determined to be a mixture, a three-person, if I remember correctly, three-person mixture with a minor male. That minor male is not Kohberger. It was never uploaded to CODIS. It was never subjected to IgG. So in order for them to pull a male profile from a mixed sample, they would have to do YSTR testing. Okay, so for anybody who wants to know where anything about this DNA on the back of the sheath is talked about, it's in the documents. The state goes so far, even in their objection to the defense's evidence that they wanted to submit pertaining to the alternate perpetrators. The state claims they cleared the alternate perpetrators from specific crime scene samples, the home, victims, sheath, etc. Okay? So, according to the state, even the state says they cleared these alt perps that the defense is claiming are alt perps. No, no, they're not alt perps. We cleared them from these samples, one of those samples being allegedly the male profile pulled from the back of the sheet that was mixed with victim DNA. So, it is in the documents, it's there, it's item Q1.4. Q itself is the sheath, and the sheath had 5, technically. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Q for all of those. That is all pertaining to the swabs of the sheath and the areas of the sheath that were swabbed. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps everybody. I've had a lot of people asking. Beautiful Meg P, you're back. Yay. Hello. CH, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. Friday. Hello. Welcome. Good to see you, sir. Hello. Yeah, I know, Friday. We know, but this is their story, right? We'll let them stick to their story. It's not our story. We're just going by their docs and what their story says in their docs, right? And according to them, they pulled a single source mail from the inside button snap of the sheath. So, but there is also another male profile mixed with victim DNA from the back of the sheath. It's just a fact. It's not conspiracy theory. It's not a misinterpretation. of the reports or the documents. Read them yourself, come to your own conclusions. You guys know what I say here, so welcome everyone. If you're new here and you're just hanging out, okay, no facts here. I don't know shit. Do not ever listen to anything I say. Everything I say is just me being snarky and giving my opinion. Even when I'm reading a doc, I'm probably just snarking the fuck out of it. So read the docs yourself, come to your own conclusions. Don't ever listen to me. That's what I say. I'm not one of those creators that like I need everybody to um, listen to me and nope, because I have no facts. I read their documents, I come to my own conclusions, and then I give my opinion on what I'm reading. And sometimes what I'm reading looks real shady AF, right? So my whole main purpose for even talking about the other mail found on the sheet is simply because, well, there's a couple reasons, but the main reason is because for over 2 years it was perpetuated that the only DNA found on the sheet is single source mail from the button snap. That is not true. The state has conceded as such. They cleared alternate perpetrators from that sample. The alternate perpetrators are male. So obviously the sample they have for that they're trying to clear these alts with is a male sample, which is why they're comparing it to a bunch of fucking men. It isn't hard to understand. Okay? I'm not saying that to be mean. It's not a disrespect to the victims. It's not a knock at families. It's nothing like that. It's just that, so one reason is they have perpetuated this false narrative that it's only single source male DNA. The second reason is because families, for a long time, probably to even till now, are under the impression, no, what do you mean? What do you mean other male DNA on the sheath? No, it was only his. It's not true. It's just not. The documents show that. Okay? And the fact of the matter is that other male, whoever that is, mixed in with the victim DNA on the back of the sheet, they never subjected that profile. They never uploaded it to CODIS and never subjected it to IgG. Okay, but they know about the single source profile from the inside button snap. At the same time, literally, you know, all of this lab stuff is literally, they're finding it out at the same time they do of another male. They never did anything with that DNA, right? Other than to try to clear other people with it, which I'm not sure. We'll go through the reports, and maybe somewhere in these reports we're going to see um, who they cleared, or I don't know. But it's just super interesting to me because, I hate to say it, and I've been saying it for a long time. The way that I look at it is if your main key piece of evidence in this case that you believe is the main piece of evidence that pertains to the actual crime. You believe this knife sheath belongs to the weapon that was used to commit the crime, and you're trying to get as much DNA off of it as you possibly can and figure out who handled this object, right? Even if that's your route, you know very early on you're dealing with two males. One from the inside button snap, one from the back, and that male from the back is mixed in with your victims. Both should have immediately straight to CODIS. Both straight to IgG, right? Both should have had the same standard applied, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Because I don't know why you would focus on one and ignore the other entirely, to the point that even after 3 years, it would appear you never did anything with that other male profile to figure out who it was. Sorry, I'd want to know. I'd want to make sure all parties involved are charged. And I don't understand why this person seemingly was never identified. Um, that would piss me off, honestly, if I was related to any of these victims. I would be furious to know that, to have that knowledge, to know that their own documentation, their own forensic record of the case, their own lab reports their own documents pertaining to how they cleared people and their DNA, okay? Their forensic record dictates, at the very least, there's two different males' DNA on that sheet, and one of them is mixed with victim. So, but I don't know shit, okay? And who am I, right? That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I don't even know these people, and I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it because I want all parties charged. I know there's a lot of people who believe Brian's entirely innocent. That's totally fine. You can have that opinion, right? I'm of the opinion that whether he is or he isn't, he's pled guilty, and their forensic record would kind of dictate that it's more than one person, right? So whether he's pled guilty or not, I'm still confused as to why you're not pursuing the other or others when you know they exist. That I think is what bothers me the most. Kane B, what up, sir? Sorry, guys, I'm coming back to chat. When I go on a tangent, I have to look away because if I'm trying to read chat and talk, I'll lose my thought. But welcome in, everybody. So good to see you. Truth Seeker, hello. I know who killed you. Strange how Ann Taylor let that go. The fact the other male DNA was on that sheet mixed with the victims, yeah. I mean, everybody let it go. It would appear both sides, state and defense, it would seemingly appear are agreeing, or I don't even know that they agreed. I'm of the opinion that Miss Bicca was absolutely trying to get it through the court to identify this profile because there's a lot of documents pertaining to what Hitler discussed with Bicca Barlow regarding it was at the sealed alt perp hearing. We got the court minutes or whatever for it. Everything that Bicca Barlow testified to him about, and she's obviously handling all the DNA stuff. All redacted, everything redacted. And I know I'm of the opinion they were really trying to get some kind of permission from the court, order from the court, etc., to do something with that profile, since it was never done by the state. But I don't know. I don't know for sure. That's kind of just my opinion on that. And I don't think Hitler was going to let them do it. All right, so let me share screen with you. I did link, just so you guys know, the link to these documents are in the description of the video. Hang on one second. Sorry, my cat is literally over here. She hears me talking and it's not to her, so she's going to act up. Hang on one second. All right, let me share screen. Again, thank you everybody for being here. Mods, thank you for being here. Members, hello. Always so good to see you. Even if you're just lurking, at least say hello in the chat. We got a lot of new subscribers, friends, over here. We've got a lot of new members, new subscribers. Love seeing a lot of newbies. Feel free. But yeah, I truly appreciate everybody hanging out with me today. We've got till, what time is it? It's noon. I've got till about 2-ish. And then as long as my audio and everything holds up till then, we've got till about 2. Make sure that's big enough. So this is where we left off, was at page 13 in the earlier live. I'm not going to rehash, okay, what we looked at earlier, friends. If you missed it, sorry. You'll have to go back and rewatch the other live. It's not long. Put it at 2 speed. I just don't want to. It's really just all of the items listed that were put into evidence and stuff. Meg P, yes, hello, lurkers. Yeah, my cat is crazy, dude. She hears me talking and it's not to her, and it's like she's like, wait. JB, you're too funny, dude. You can hit the like. You don't have to give me your money. Kane will probably hold the chat hostage, though. No, James Moen, though. He'll probably listen on the replay. Thanks, James Moen. You're fucking awesome. You always are. Oh, there you go. See, Heather Mosher, thank you, honey. Yeah, defense can't test it without Bill Thompson's permission. They can only test DNA against BK to exclude him, but not other people, right? It's literally on Bill. Yeah, it's wild. I figured there was some reason that they couldn't like get access to it or you know, argue to the court like it's clear, the state did not pursue this. They did nothing with it and you would be somehow violating his right to due process by not, identifying it, because a thorough investigation wasn't done and blah blah blah, but that's why I'm guessing that's why Hitler told them you're allowed to cross-examine on the extent of their investigation or lack thereof in places that they were lacking and blah, 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 right? You can like cross-examine it, try to impeach them and shit. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's super, super, it's just super wild to me that even before you allegedly ever knew his name or anything about him, so like you have this single source male profile from the snap, but then you also have this male that's been pulled from the back of the sheet that's mixed with victim DNA, and you send one off to CODIS and the other you don't. I don't know why you do that. And according to Payne, it's because, well, you can't if you can only upload one profile at a time. He's under the impression if they uploaded another profile, it would kick out the first one. That was his actual answer under oath in a fucking courtroom. That was his testimony. Okay, let's stop playing games. Okay, he actually answered under oath that he's under the impression, or for whatever reason, he's been told, or you know, someone has got him under the impression that you can only upload one profile to CODIS from a crime scene at a time. It's there's no way. Like I could understand if the FBI was never involved in the case, ISP is never involved in the case. It's only these inexperienced MPD officers working the case. I could understand maybe fucking in potato land, okay, that, Major fucking Payne over there would be under the impression that you can only upload one profile at a time. But the fact of the matter is, within like 24 to 48 hours, you've got 60 plus FBI agents assisting. And there is no way that all of these agents who are all co-located with this motherfucker at MPD aren't telling him who fucking told you that you can only put one profile into CODIS at a time. Who told you that? Where did you learn that? Why are you under that impression? Because a basic Google search that my kid can do would give you an answer that no, actually, Corporal Brett Payne, um, I'm sorry, sir, but like CODIS is designed specifically to take multiple samples from a crime scene and test them against known offenders and it's like I can't. I sometimes like rub my temples when I have to go back and like read his stuff and I'm just like there's no way. Because if I'm an FBI agent assisting this guy and I'm co-located with him and I hear him say some dumb shit like we can only put one profile into CODIS at a time, right? And be like, absolutely not. Why are you the fucking lead investigator? Who made you lead? I'd be wanting to talk to his chief and his captain if I'm an FBI agent. Why is he your lead? He thinks you can only put one profile into CODIS at a time. Why is this happening? I'm going to have questions if I'm the feds. I'm going to be side-eyeing these people. Because what do you mean you can only put one profile in at a time? You're a lead investigator on a quadruple homicide, and you are under the impression that you can only put one profile into CODIS at a time. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard an officer fucking testify to under oath in a courtroom. Think about all the hearings we've all watched in our lifetime, even pre-true crime, listening to officers testify about, the scene and the perp and the this and the that. Right? Have you ever once in your life heard another police officer, a lead investigator on a homicide case? Have you ever heard them testify that CODIS can only take one profile at a time from a crime scene? Cite the case so I can go watch it. I've never, ever heard another officer give that kind of a testimony pertaining to CODIS ever. Ever, ever, ever. Forever, ever. So it's super interesting. Okay, friends, enough of my bullshit. Enough of listening to me ramble on. Meanie, hello. Amy Conway, hello, welcome in. Yeah, he works at the university now. Thank God. He'll never write another affidavit. He will never apply for another search warrant. He will never be allowed ever again to give sworn testimony that is absolutely contradictory to what is fact and true. We will never get another novella from him, some fiction writing, otherwise known as a sworn affidavit. Like, it'll never happen again. Thank God. Let's all take a moment of silence in prayer to the sweet baby Jesus and give thanks that Brett Payne will never, ever again investigate another crime. Ever. He is no longer law enforcement, thank God. Thank you, sweet baby Jesus. All right, enough of my bullshit. So this is where we left off. That was the other thing. Okay, so you'll have to go back and watch the first live. Sorry, friends, if you missed any of this. This is where I was just kind of pointing out. So there was a lot happening on 12/5, right? Let's get over here. And if I remember correctly, Cowboys. When did the Cowboys go into the place? Um, was it beginning of December? Was it around December 5th? There is something else I was asking in the earlier live. Eddie was going to work on it for me, but then my shit crashed. And Eddie's not back. He's probably over at Dagos. So, senor, welcome on in. Good to see you. Yeah, he doesn't remember Mama 5, Heather Mosher. Yeah, defense can argue it at trial, absolutely, but DNA testing approval is on BT, right? Payne didn't make that decision, that's why he's clueless. Yeah, or playing dumb. Yeah, he can't be, he's definitely playing dumb. I mean, maybe it is that he is clueless. I don't know. The guy's never worked a homicide case ever. So, I mean, I don't know, but they made him lead, so whatever. Um, I was advised none of these can go into CODIS. Yeah. He said he understood that. It's wild. It's just wild. It's wild. Look, finally. There she is. Beep beep. Brooms up, bitches. Good morning, Lucy. For fuck's sake, Fitziana. Hello, darling. Welcome. My earlier live crashed right as you came in, honey. I was like, she hexed me. Good morning, darling. Good to see you. Sandra, hello. Welcome in. All right, so hopefully we're back up and running now and nothing crashes. We'll do this as long as we can. I have till about 2, and then I need to go work my ass off, okay? I would love to be able to do YouTube full-time, friends, but I just can't, okay? YouTube doesn't pay enough for me to pay all of my bills and all of my obligations in life. So I promise one day when YouTube is, good enough for me that I can just don't even have to work if I don't want to. It'll probably never get to that point, but one day if it does, I promise, we'll be here so much more. I'll be able to do, much longer lives to read documents and like go through things quicker. I usually only have like an hour and a half, 2 hours tops to dedicate to this in my free time. And I feel bad, because it's fun. I enjoy doing it. Love hanging with my peeps over here. And, I wish I could do it more often. It's just it's rough on these YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying, friends? All right. So we make sure. Okay, good. Everybody can see this good. So the only thing I was trying to point out here is that at some point, right, 12.5 is when these extra biological evidence samples are being put in, and I was trying to remember like what was going on 12.5. It says here like additional evidence added, additional evidence added, additional evidence added. And I was trying to is that like when the Cowboys went in? Was that around December 5th? There was something happening December 5th. It sticks in my brain, and I just can't remember what it was. But I know December 5th is significant, and I don't know why, but it's there in my brain. Toes, hello. Oh my goodness, always so good to see you. Yeah, it's rough out here, huh? I know. I'm sorry I can't like dedicate more time to it. I wish I could, guys. Winter's coming, so maybe a little bit more. But like we'll have breaks and stuff, from school, November and December, and then in January. So I might be able to put a little extra time between this month, December and January. It's just, I'm sorry I can't really be live like everybody else can be live. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Don't be hating. Hello. I was trying to click on this. From this doc drop between Rylene and Talbot, 1214. I advise none of these can go into CODIS. He said he understood that. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Don't be hating. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's not waste any more time, friends, because I want to get to the Sheath. The Sheath has officially entered the chat. Finally. Finally. So when you see all this here, bio, LP, bio, LP. Okay, so you have latent prints, biological sample, FS. It's there, and now I can't remember. FS. Fingernail swab, if I remember correctly. FS is the fingernail swab. CS. Can't remember what that is. These are all the different swabs. These are all the different, it's the type of whatever it is. So latent print, latent print, latent print. They were trying to like compare prints of the victims to other latent prints. And I don't know. It's weird. We'll get into it when I was reading some of the stuff. Okay. Evidence submission receipt. This is on November 16th, 2022. Make sure that's big enough for everybody. Who's trying to call me? I'm live, friends. All right. Yes, forensic sample. Bluebird, hello, you made a live. Yay. And you got to join as a member. Well, welcome, new member. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much. Welcome, welcome. Green looks good on you. You have some special emojis that you can use too in the chat if you're on your phone, I think. So there you go. They're Michael Myers. One is Michael Myers and one is Rainbow Bright. He used them away. Welcome in, new members. Yeah, that was the other thing too. In the earlier live, I was saying thank you. We have so many new members and subs that have been happening over the last few days. You guys are awesome. I truly appreciate it. All right, so we have November 16th. This is the Idaho State Police Forensic Services Evidence Submission Report. C for the Sheath, right? 22M-1810 K-bar sheath with USMC logo. General biology screen. Processing only. So as we read through this too, this is why Bicca Barlow mentions in her documents no serological testing, right? No serological testing, and there was something else. For fuck's sake, Fitziana, there she is, right? What was Bicca Barlow saying? That even though they did one thing of like this biological testing, they didn't do any type, they did a general biological test screen. They didn't do any serological and something else. I forget what it was. But yeah, that's interesting, huh? So it was just a general screen. Okay. Then we have here. So we have a suspect here. If you notice here, this person's checked off as suspect, right? But this is being submitted 11/18. Okay, so they're receiving this at ISP 11/18, right? From Moscow Police Department, date of the offense, November 13th. It's Dustin Blaker. So we have this person who's marked here as suspect. We know that's obviously not Kohberger, right? Because of the date of this is being submitted. And then we have subject redacted, and then it lists the 4 victims. And the only reason I'm pointing this out is because as you go through these reports, you'll see that these redacted people that are listed as subjects and or suspect are, they start to get to be a lot more. You're going to see a lot more of these black boxes as we go along. Okay, so, and this is what I was talking about too earlier. Anything that's related to the sheath, you're going to have, you have Q1.1, swab up the front of the strap, general biological screen, right? Lab item 3, swab of blood collected from floor 2, bedroom floor. So this is your lab item number here. When you see 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, that's the sheath. 15, right? This is what I was talking about earlier too, in the earlier live. Okay, so we'll just go through it. We know that they took DNA blood cards from autopsies. We have the fingernail clippings, left, right, okay? Then we have the redacted. There's 2 buccal swabs. Item 17 from redacted. Item 19, DNA swab from redacted. This is received 11/21, being received by Dustin Blaker. Suspect, 2 subjects, 4 victims. We have blood swab from the above stairwell being submitted. Item 23. Item 24, blood swab from the upper floor banister. Item 25, major crime prints for victim Ethan Chapin from his autopsy. Item 26, major crime prints for victim Xana Kernodle from autopsy. Why is that like that? There we go. Item 27, major crime prints for Maddie Mogan. Item 28, major crime prints for Kaylee. 29, DNA swabs of possible finger, hand, and face marks from outside south kitchen window. Keep that in mind, depending how far we get. Item 30, swab from the bottom of the handrail, stair between floor 1 and 2. Item 31, swabs of stains on top edge of the half wall, floor 2. Half wall, floor 2, top edge. 32, latent lift cards taken from exterior of south of kitchen window, and there were 6 of them. Now we have another one, 11/22. We all know this date, November 22nd. Keep all of this stuff for anything for November 22nd in mind. November 22nd is when they are sending the alleged sheath sample to Offram. So keep that in mind, everybody. We're getting to 11/22. Wild West. Hello, welcome on in. Well, yeah, a sheath is not a murder weapon. Agreed. But they did want to use it as their key piece of evidence, and they wanted, this is their story. Their story is, this is the key piece of evidence the perpetrator left behind, and it's the perpetrator's DNA on the sheath. Okay, well, there's 2. That's the problem. For almost 3 years, they said it was just only single source mail found on the sheath. That's just not true. All right. So, November 22nd, suspect. Now we have 3 subjects. The other ones had 2, correct? Go look again. See, this one here, you have your suspect and 2 subjects. When we get down to 1122, for the next one being submitted, 1122, you have a suspect that's not Kohberger, and a new subject has been added. 1, 2, 3. Then your victims. This is for the cigarette butts. Okay? Item 33 and item 34, cigarette butts. So the new subject that's been added, my guess is the person who smoked these cigarettes. Just a guess. Yes. That on point Rican. Yes. Don't have proof the sheath was at the crime scene yet. Yeah, I know. But the defense has conceded that it's on the body cam and stuff like that. They can see it in what's his face's body cam, and it's in the ISP photos, like under the victim, partially under the victim and the comforter. So, I mean, the defense has pretty much conceded that it was there. But, you know, I guess you technically, yeah, we haven't seen anything yet. And we're not going to, because the crime scene photos that do get released, that they plan to, they're going to be fully redacted anyway. They're not going to show blood. They're not going to show, like, the bodies on the beds or anything like that. All of that will be redacted. We're never going to see that anyway, unfortunately, unless somebody leaks that shit or something. But hopefully they don't, because that would be against the law. Halls, hello. Hello. Welcome in. Well, see, that's the thing, Amy, right? I tend to believe that if it was Maddie Sheath, um, the defense would have argued that from the beginning, right? Like, I just feel like if there wasn't some concession made by Brian to his defense team that, like, yeah, I did have a knife, I did have a sheath, whatever, right? I don't know how my sheath could have ended up there. Um, the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, if his defense knows from the beginning that this sheath that they're trying to associate to their client, and so far as to claim he purchased it, that he purchased a gift card and used that gift card to purchase the knife, do you get what I'm saying? Like, if it never belonged to him at all and it belonged to one of the victims, know what I mean? When they were trying to get that sheath tossed out, when they were trying to get it suppressed, your argument would for suppression would have been, not only does it not belong to him, it belongs to one of the victims. You know what I mean? Because that would be a reason to suppress it. If you can prove it belonged to one of the victims and not him. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like a, because you would be able to have an expert to show that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there'd be some kind of receipt you'd be able to produce if you thought that this sheath actually belonged to one of the victims. You wouldn't then concede further down the road, well, yeah, I mean, technically he did buy a knife, a sheath, and a sharpener. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just kind of strange, the argument itself for the sheath, that if it's not his at all, I feel like it would have been argued a different way from jump, and they would have, the way they would have argued it to get it suppressed. would have been this sheath belongs to one of these victims. That's just my opinion. Um, that would have been your better argument, right? Rather than trying to somehow later down the road disprove that you didn't purchase the thing they're saying you purchased. Do you get what I'm saying? Um, well, they would have had to argue the sheet. Here's the thing, Amy. I'm talking about from the beginning, right? So from the beginning, if you are Brian Kohberger's defense team, you've been assigned as attorney. The state has let you know, yep, this is what we're charging him with. They know that there's a sheet that's been recovered from the scene, and the state is claiming it's his sheet that he left behind, right? She's going to ask him. It's going to be one of the first questions this defense attorney is going to speak to him about. They're saying that this was found at the scene. Is there any possible way it belongs to you? Right? At that moment, she's going to know from jump. He's going to say, yeah, I did have one, but I lost it, I sold it, I gave it away, etc. Could be any answer for it. Or his answer is going to be, no, I never fucking had one. That's not mine. I don't know what they're talking about, right? That's just how it would be approached, because you would have to talk to your client about it. So if her client gave her the answer of, no, it's not mine, no, I never had one, right? That's definitely not my sheath. I don't know what they're talking about. That is not my sheath that was left at the scene. That's how his defense attorney would have argued it. She would have argued it that way, that it did not belong to him, that it belonged to one of the victims, if it did in fact belong to a victim. Right, placed. That's what she said. Well, not even her. I think it was Jay. Placed, right? They said it was placed, not planted, placed. So if it was placed there, that would also imply it didn't belong to the victim, right? Like if it is her sheath, I get what you're saying. If she's fighting back, she has her own knife. Her knife has been taken from her, used against her, but that's her sheath, right? Um, I personally don't think that they would only be finding single source mail in the snap and then another mail mixed with victim DNA, like blood on the back, and then not, it would be covered in her skin cells, other DNA and stuff like that if it was her sheath, right? Don't you think it's strange that, say, if we go with like it's Maddie's sheath, right? Because Amy thinks it's Amy, and I'm not knocking you, Amy. I'm just going with your theory. If it is Maddie's sheath, and they're trying to put it to him, saying it's his, but it's hers, don't you think it's odd that it's his trace DNA found on the inside button snap, but none of her DNA? Do you get what I'm saying? If it's actually her sheath and her knife and it's her sheath, like her DNA would be all up in that snap, all over it, all on the outer portion of it, all in the strap, all in everything. If it's hers, she would have been handling it more. You would have you'd have more of her DNA on it than anybody else's, I would imagine. You wouldn't be just finding like his trace sample and then this one other male mixed in with victim on the back. I don't know. That's just my I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I don't think it's Maddie Sheath, personally. I don't. I also don't necessarily think it's the um I don't believe the sheath belongs to the weapon that was used. We'll just say. Because in my opinion, it was a much larger knife that was used along with another weapon. Um because of the variations in wounds to certain victims. And then when you have family members going out talking about experimental wounds being done, to victims or certain victims or whatever. Number one, where's the time allocated for him for that if it's just him, right? Number two, if he has all this extra time to be inflicting experimental wounds on victims, um, I'm sorry. You have more than one person, right? To me, it's just painfully obvious. There's more than one person. He's taken a plea, and I'm of the opinion that if he took the plea, whatever his reason is his own. But if he's saying he was there, then he fucking knows who the other person is, right? And I feel like maybe some of these investigators know who the other person is too, and that's why they're just entirely ignoring the other fucking male profile entirely and never did anything with it and ignored it entirely. That's just my opinion. Why else would you ignore it? Why else would you not send it off to CODIS along with the other single source profile? Why not? Never mind this, you can only put one profile in at a time. Fuck you. You know that's not true. Prosecutor knows that's not true. FBI knows it's not true. ISP knows it's not true. I don't give a fuck what Payne says. The people actually handling all of that, no, none of that is true. So why did you ignore the other male? That's my question. So whoever this person is here with the cigarette butts, it would appear they've been added as a subject. Then we have this one here, 11/28, 2022. Another one from Dustin Blaker. We have redacted as suspect. 3 more subjects here. And this is for the item 37 blood swab from entry hallway wall and kitchen wall. Then these two just say blood swabs, 38 and 39. 40 is glove. Another one here, December 5th. Redacted suspect. So whoever this person is, they're listing as suspect. The point that I'm getting at here, whoever this person is that is listed as suspect, okay, it can't be Kohberger based on these dates, 12/5, right? Allegedly. I don't know. If you're submitting stuff on 11/22, 11/28, you already have someone listed as a suspect. It can't be him, right? Makes sense? All right, let's get into this. So we have all of these redacteds. They took buccal swabs from and a DNA swab. If I remember correctly, the buccal swabs were like Jack DeCore, I don't remember who else, and then the DNA swab was like Showalter, right? They like met him in Boise with his mom or some shit, and he gave a swab, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me though; they're all redacted. Another one here for 12/5 for Dustin Blaker. Nothing. Oh wait, okay, it starts here. So he's got one suspect. Now, December 5th. This is why I wanted to point this out. So as everybody can see here, okay, Sergeant Blaker is submitting this to ISP on December 5th, right? December 5th. He has a redacted suspect listed along with Brian Kohberger suspect listed. I thought you didn't get his name until December 19th. I thought you didn't get his name until December 19th. So how is Sergeant Blaker submitting this evidence submission receipt to Idaho State Police on December 5th, listing a redacted suspect along with an unredacted Brian Kohberger on December 5th if you did not get his name until December 19th? Let's make this bigger, and I'll show it again. Because you can see here it says page 1 of 5, so I'm not confusing my motherfucking pages. It starts here, page 1. Case number M2022-4843. Date received December 5th. From Moscow Police Department, Sergeant Dustin Blaker. Page 1. Page 2 starts. He has 2 suspects listed here. One is redacted, and one is Brian Kohberger. But if you did not get Brian Kohberger's name until December 19th, then why is he listed as a suspect on this form on December 5th? I mean, I'm almost positive, like I said, don't listen to me. I don't know shit, friends. You read the docs yourself. Come to your own conclusions. This is page 28 of what ISP just put up. I'll even link it in the chat for everybody as well, so that if you want to follow along, I did link it in the description of this live, but let me come and put this in chat for everyone. This is the link to the docs. You can follow along. It's page 28 that I'm on right now. Heather Mosher, I'm sure you have it. Darling, you'll let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Page 1 starts the report right here. Page 1. Page 1 is this. It's date received December 5th. From Dustin Blaker, Moscow Police Department. And he has 2 suspects listed. One of them is Brian Kohberger. The other is this redacted person. And this is being submitted to ISP December 5th. But I don't know how they have Brian Kohberger's name here on this form on December 5th if they didn't get his name until December 19th. So, I'm just asking questions, as usual, brainworms. You get my brainworms. So they had Brian Kohberger's name December 5th, and they're listing him as a suspect in their ISP evidence submission receipt on December 5th. And I'm just asking questions of the investigators here. How in the actual fuck do you have him listed on this evidence submission form here if you didn't get his name for another 14 days? Right? December 19th. Isn't that what Payne testified to? Isn't that what they were going to use as their tip? The tip came in December 19th. December 19th is when they got his name. Not December 5th, right? So, just questions, friends. Ask your friends, ask around. It doesn't make any sense. Payne testified under oath. Both sides stipulated they were going to agree to this tip on December 19th, and now we know why. And Taylor and them were like, yeah, go ahead, motherfucker. Say December 19th, bitch. Say it. Say it. Say it under oath. Say it under oath. Because we're not even 28 pages in, and we can prove you're fucking lying with your own evidence submission reports from your other lead investigator, asshole. Dustin Blaker is using Brian Kohberger's name as a suspect on December 5th. Go ahead, say December 19th under oath, bitch. Say it. Trooper Proctor, say it. You're going to have to say it. I wish we got that with Payne. You're going to have to say it, Payne. Say it. But then both sides stipulated, right? Now we know why Aunt Taylor's like, yeah, sure, we'll stipulate to December 19th. No problem. We're going to impeach your fucking witness with your other fucking witness and their reports. It is what it is. December 5th, Sergeant Dustin Blaker is submitting an ISP evidence submission form here, receipt, listing Brian Kohberger as a suspect along with another suspect. There are 2 suspects listed on this form for December 5th. And Payne testified under oath they didn't get his name until December 19th. And that's what they were going to let him testify to at trial. He was going to testify under oath at trial to that lie again. Already did it once and was going to do it again. You know how sick and demented that is? Thank God he's not a cop anymore. Thank God. Motherfucker straight up had no problem just following orders. Yeah, he was told, maybe he was told to lie. Maybe he was told to say December 19th. I have no idea. I don't give a fuck who told you what. You were in the military, bro. You took an oath. Are you serious? You're going to come into court and lie under oath. Really? Piece of shit. I'll say it. You're a piece of shit, Payne. I hope you're listening. I think he does listen too. I think he's one of the lurkers here because I always talk so much shit about him. The guy just makes me say, ugh, from jump, right? I'm like, there's something wrong with that one. Out of all of them, that's the one I'd be side-eyeing, but that's just me. But yeah, so Payne had no problem lying to the court, claiming that December 19th is when they got his name via this general tip. Defense is like, yeah, okay, cool. We'll let you say that under oath at trial too. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring Dustin Blaker up, and we're going to have we're going to put this evidence submission receipt in front of Dustin Blaker. And we're going to ask Dustin Blaker to testify as to whether or not this is his. Did you submit this? What's the date you submitted it? And whose name is listed? And that's how you impeach Brett Payne in 5 minutes or less. Via the other lead detective with the other lead detective's own evidence submission form. You impeach one lead detective with the other. Isn't that insane? Think about that. That's how they could have done that, you know. Go ahead, call up Brett Payne, let him say December 19th, not a problem. And we'll cross-examine him, and we'll get him to double down. We'll get him to double down. Right? Get him to double down in the courtroom under oath. Yep, December 19th. Yep, general tip. Yep, December 19th. Yep. And then call up Dustin Blaker and have Dustin Blaker read this report out loud to the jury and the date on it. Right? In 5 steps or less, you can impeach Corporal Brett Payne just on the date alone of when they had Kohberger's name, because they had Brian Kohberger's name according to Dustin Blaker here, and this form he submitted. They have Brian Kohberger's name, December 5th. That is the date ISP is receiving this form from Blaker, and it has Brian Kohberger listed as a suspect, along with another redacted suspect. So, very, very interesting when you think about it, right? So they had his name December 5th. Now let's all think back to December 5th. And everything that's going on around beginning of December, right? Wow. Moonlight, hello. Silent G, what up? What up, gangsta? Where's Bree Sully? Is Bree Sully in here and I missed her? CH, hello. On Point Rican, what up? Miss Pottsville, Arizona. I don't know anymore. I truly don't know anymore, you know. I just read the docs, bro, and snark, you know. Talk shit. That's what I do. I just read these docs and then talk shit. That's all you can do. Jazz King, my king, welcome on in. Hello, good to see you. Always. So yeah, I mean, hey, you know, if I'm wrong, cool, I'm wrong, don't listen to me. I don't know shit. No facts here, friends. Read the documents yourself. But I'm telling you right now, according to what's submitted here to ISP by Blaker, they had Brian Kohberger's name December 5th. and he's being listed as a suspect on this form that Blaker is submitting. So it's page 28 out of the 2,356 that were just dropped by ISP. It starts at page 27. That's where page 1 starts. Page 2, there's 5. This is page 2. Let's go to page 3. What does page 3 have? Well, page 3 has, see what I meant about all of these new subjects start to get added on that are redacted out. All of these people that are listed as subject, 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 that are redacted out. Okay? But there are 2 people listed as suspects. One of them is redacted, one of them is Kohberger. Here's page 4, more, subject, subject, subject. See? It says it right here. Subject, subject, subject. And then you have your victims here. Okay? This is item 45, a buccal swab from redacted. Item 46, swab from redacted. Page 5. This is the final page of those 5 pages. So this is everything for December 5th that Blaker is submitting. He has all those subjects listed, the 4 victims, 2 suspects, and this is the evidence submission form he's putting in for this stuff. Item 47, buccal swab from redacted. 48, 2 swabs from redacted. 49, buccal swab from redacted. So that's 5 pages. It starts at 27, goes to 31, right? If I remember correctly, that's page 3, page 2. Just in case anybody doesn't believe me, go ahead and go look at it yourself. In the docs, it starts at page 27. And it's a 5-page thing being submitted by Blaker. It's dated December 5th, and it has Brian Kohberger's name listed. So, super, super interesting. Okay, let's get past that one. Now we're going on to the next evidence submission receipt. Also, December 5th. Also coming from Dustin Blaker. Let's see who he has listed here. Well, now he has 1 suspect listed. That's redacted. And then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 subjects. 1 suspect listed, 13 subjects, 4 victims. That's page 3 of 3. That's it. That's all that that one was. We have this one here, December 13th, also from Dustin Blaker. Here, 1 suspect listed that's redacted. So we have 1 form here so far from Blaker for December 5th that has Brian Kohberger listed as a suspect. And then the rest of them he's not. Isn't that interesting? You notice it, like, isn't that so wild? Carson Hockey's mom, welcome in. So good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Wow, I feel blessed. What an honor. Thanks for stopping in. Is the ride along on the witness list, Mama 5? I don't know, right? Goulash does sound good. Enjoy. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Truly do. It says there's 83 of you here. Holy shit. Thanks, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys had such an awesome Halloween, too, if you celebrated. Okay, so they have all of that. Let's see. This is page 2 of 5. So we have this new one here. Let's see. 1 suspect. All of these subjects. Kohberger's not here. Then we get the victims. What's being submitted. Okay, so we have lift from the kitchen window, 2nd lift from the window, 3rd lift from the window. These are the prints. Lift from the sliding glass door, lift from the door lock, and then 57 is a buccal swab from redacted. And we also have buccal swab from redacted, buccal swab from redacted. All of these buccal swabs from redacted. Empty beer can found on the stairs. Backpack found in the living room held full beer cans. Please also test for DNA. That's item 67. 68 is an empty beer can found on the vanity. 69, empty beer can found on the vanity. Then we have this one here, 1223. Trap and trace. December 23rd, when the wheels fell off the fucking wagon, friends. We're here. We're here. We're getting to December 23rd. We're finally at the point where the wheels they're starting to come off. December 23rd. That's where we are. Brooms up. December 23rd. Dustin Blaker. Still only one suspect listed. That is redacted. All of these subjects. The 4 victims. And this is the alleged drugs being found, that was found on the desk, the blue powder. Was sent in for controlled substance analysis. Okay. So that's December 23rd. December 27th, Dustin Blaker. He still has one suspect listed. That is redacted. All of these subjects. The 4 victims. Item 72, blood swab from the north wall stairwell, already tested positive for blood. 73, blood swab from the half wall, already tested positive for blood. Interesting. Item 74, blood swab from the second floor study table, already tested positive for blood. Study table, huh? Are they talking about the ping pong table? The beer pong table? They called it a study table. Get the fuck out of here. Do they mean the beer pong table? Is that what they're talking about? Are they serious? Did they call the beer pong table the study table? Fucking idiots. You gotta be out of your mind. I think they did. I think they're trying to call the beer pong table the study table. Blood swab from second floor study table. Already tested positive for blood. It's a fucking beer pong table. Unless they're studying beer pong. Is that what they were studying? Beer pong? It's not a study table. Stop it. Stop it. You gotta be shitting me. Item 75, blood swab from the second floor outside of the bedroom door. Already tested positive for blood. Interesting. Outside of the bedroom door. Second floor outside of the bedroom door. Which fucking bedroom door? Which one? Dylan's? Santa's? Which bedroom door? Blood swab from smear on living room table. Already tested positive for blood. Okay. Blood swab from, item 77. Blood swab from edge of third floor door. Already tested positive for blood. Edge of third floor door. Okay. Yeah, I think they were. You like that? You guys like that, Silent G? Good. You know, I'm here to make you guys laugh when we can, right? I know it's a tragic thing, but it is what it is. I gotta laugh. James Moen, welcome back, sir. Oh my God, I was giving you so many thank yous earlier. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Appreciate you being here. I know you're listening while you work or something, right? So I think you're working, you said. Hope you have an awesome day. But yeah, they had I think they had the beer pong table listed as a study table. I don't remember seeing a study table on the second floor. There's the beer pong table and the bar cart. But now they're saying that there's a blood swab from smear on the living room table that tested positive for blood. Living room table. Is that little side table they're talking about? Next to the couch? That tested positive for blood? I don't know. Blood swab from edge of the third floor door, already tested positive for blood. And then this is the last thing on that form. Blood swab from floor stain inside doorway, west bedroom, marker R, already tested positive for blood. Blood swab from floor stain inside doorway W. Oh, inside doorway, west bedroom. Interesting. Okay. Then we have this one here, Riley Nolan. It's the first time we're seeing her name. This is when all the trash is coming in. So allegedly they got it, they took it 12/27, right? And they had their match by 12/28, allegedly. Well, according to this evidence submission report, you have Dustin Blaker here. The submitting agency is Moscow Police Department. It's being received 12/28 by Riley Nolan, Nylene Rowland. My brain always wants to say Nylene Rowland, and I don't know why. I don't think I am dyslexic. It's hard for me to be like Riley Nowlin. It's Nylene Rowland. See how much easier? See how much easier? It's Nylene Rowland. That's just, it is what it is, friends. I hope you know what it means. It's Rylene Nowlin is actually how you say it. I'm so sorry. My brain literally says Nylene Rowland. And I have no idea why. But moving on. So she's receiving this 12/28. Well, I thought, so you're just receiving it on 12/28. Let's go through, we'll see. Right? Suspect. One suspect is still listed with all of these subjects. Right? Then the victims. And then this is what's being submitted. Item 79, FBI number 4. 2 Band-Aids from Blakesley, Pennsylvania. So this is obviously when they took all the trash. Okay. Now this is on 12/28. She's receiving it. I thought you already had your fucking results on 12/28. I thought you flew it in on the 27th and you got your results on the 28th. She's just receiving it on the 28th. No? Does that make sense? If I'm misinterpreting it, then it is what it is. I mean, whatever. That's just so weird to me. They said they took the trash on 12/27, flew it back to Idaho or whatever, and by 12/28 they had their match, right? Allegedly. Well, according to this document here from Riley Nolan, oh, I did it. Riley Nolan, she's just receiving all this on the 28th. FBI number 11, straw from redacted, Blakesley, Pennsylvania. Item 80. Item 81 is FBI number 17. Says 79 is FBI 4, Band-Aids, 2 Band-Aids. Item 80 is FBI 11, straw from redacted, 2 Band-Aids from redacted. 81 is FBI number 17, 2 pink earplugs from redacted in PA. 82, FBI number 19, lollipop sticks and wrappers from redacted. 83, FBI 24, nail clippers from redacted. 84, FBI 26, 8 earplugs from redacted. 8. Interesting. This is what was in the trash. Pink earplugs, 8 earplugs. They're not, notice they let you know that these are 2 pink earplugs. Pink, but these ones here, they don't say pink, black, nothing. FBI 34 used napkins from redacted. Let's see. FBI 36 flossers from redacted. FBI 37 used Q-tip from redacted. FBI 38, Dunkin' Donuts cup and lid from redacted. FBI number 41 is a straw from redacted. FBI 44, flossers from redacted. So this is all the evidence that was sent in to the ISP lab from Blaker to Riley and Nolan. But it's all FBI collected evidence. Okay, now we're on to the next one. Here we go. Now this is after his arrest, right? January 6th. What's this one? Let's see. Dustin Blaker again. January 6th. And boom, there we go. Now he's putting, but look, he still has another suspect listed. See it? He still has another suspect listed here, along with Brian Kohberger. And this is on January 6th. There's still another suspect listed on this evidence submission report. And then there's all these subjects that are listed, same thing. The victims, this is what was submitted. Major crime prints for redacted. Possible hair found inside the shower drain, tested positive presumptive for blood, ISP marker 9. So, I don't know if that's from, I have no idea where that came from. The house, his apartment, I have no idea. Doesn't say. ISP marker 9. I feel like that's the house because the FBI is the one collecting everything from PA. So I'm assuming this is from the house. ISP marker 9. Dark red counter swab tested positive presumptive for blood. ISP marker A. Let's see. Cutting a reddish brown stain on an uncased pillow tested positive presumptive for blood. ISP marker B. So maybe this is his apartment. Yeah, it has to be. It's what they took from his apartment. Top of the mattress pad, marker C. Bottom of the mattress pad, marker C. Yeah, seat cover and cushion from the suspect's vehicle. Seat back collected from suspect vehicle. Section of headliner near visor collected from the suspect vehicle. Buckle swab collected from the suspect in the Latah jail. Major crime prints from redacted. Let's see. Then we have this one, February 7th. Coming in from Dustin Blaker as well. Let's see. He still has another suspect listed, along with Brian Kohberger. All these subjects. This is in February. He still has another suspect listed, even in February. This is the floor mat from the suspect's vehicle and the seat belt from the suspect's vehicle being submitted, even though right here, no exam requested. So they're submitting the seat belt and the floor mat, but no exam has been requested on these items. Okay. Then we also have all of these here, no exam requested. My guess is because the FBI did it all and the FBI fucking sprayed everything down and did all their testing, but yeah, and some of this I think is also what was collected from parents' house, yeah. So you have the brake pedal cover from the suspect vehicle, gas pedal cover, black gloves from desk, chair, room K, the suspect's parents' home, black gloves from the closet shelf in room K, suspect parents' home, black gloves from the closet shelf in room K, parents' house, 2 pairs of gloves and a knit hat from top of the dryer on room N in the suspect's parents' house, Hyundai key fob removed from his key ring, but they didn't request any exam on any of this. Trace material on the floor mat from Brian Kohberger's vehicle, no exam requested. Okay, March 3rd, 2023. Dustin Blaker. March. Something else going on in March. We have another suspect listed here, still redacted, along with Brian Kohberger. All of the subjects, victims. What was submitted? FBI number 18, swab of gas and brake pedal removed from whatever that is, 70 swabs for lab submission. No exam requested. FBI number 21, swab of the gear shift, removed from 23M-0069, 70 swabs for lab submission. No exam requested. The rest of these are also no exam requested. It's all stuff from the car. FBI samples 36, FBI 28, FBI 23. Swab of stain on the inner edge of the east bedroom door on floor 3, marker X. Swabs of stains on objects in the west bedroom on floor 2, markers T and U. Submitted swab of stain on trash can in the west bedroom. Submitted swab of stain on the chair in the west bedroom. Oh, okay, that's Xana and Ethan's room. DNA extracts from items 125.1, 125.2, and 126. So right here, 1251, 1252, which is a stain from the trash can in Xana and Ethan's bedroom, and a stain, that blood stain on the little chair, the furry chair in their bedroom. That's their, I think they're the west bedroom, right? 1251, 1252. They did DNA extracts from those, and 126 right here, which is swab of a stain on the inner edge of the east bedroom door on floor 3. So that's Maddie's room. Then you have, okay, so they did DNA extracts from these items here. Okay. Next one is April 14th, 2023, submitted by Blaker. We have the redacted suspect still listed along with Brian Kohberger. All of these subjects. The victims, this is what's being submitted, these elimination prints from redacted to redacted. One, it says no exam requested. The other one, it doesn't say anything. May 10th, 2023, Dustin Blaker. Well, he still has another suspect along with Kohberger listed as suspects. All the subjects, the victims. Turn signal assembly removed from the suspect vehicle by ISP Detective Talbot. Gear shift knob and boot removed from suspect vehicle by ISP Detective Talbot. And they asked for general biological screening on those two things. So when they're sending the stuff into the lab, they're still listing another redacted suspect along with Brian Kohberger on these forms. June 14th, 2023. Well, there's still another suspect listed along with Brian Kohberger. In June of 2023. You guys are seeing this, right? You guys are seeing this? Like you're seeing the dates. Everybody's looking at the dates and stuff. Is this James Moen? Am I going to read all 2000 plus? I mean, no, I'm just kind of looking at this stuff because why not? And then we're going to look at the sheath and, you know, a lot of there are many, many pages in here that are like, you would think they're CIA docs. They're just all redacted out and shit. They don't, you know, it's fucking nothing but blacked out bullshit, but yeah. No, I mean, I don't know about all 2000. Many are blacked out. Many of them are nothing. There's some DNA stuff in here that it's just like charts and stuff, and it's all blacked out, and like you can't read it anyway. So there's quite a few that we can skip over. But the reason I'm showing these reports and why I'm just doing this as monotonously as possible is because even in June of 2023, they still have another suspect listed on their forms for the evidence they're submitting to ISP. There's still another suspect listed, along with Brian Kohberger. And this is June of 2023. Okay. Brian Kohberger's name is being listed on documents December 5th. December 5th. evidence forms being submitted to ISP with his name on them December 5th, but they allegedly didn't get his name till the 19th is absolutely wild. So that's why I just keep repeating it because, that way nobody can say, well, you didn't show it or you didn't. No, no, no. All of these being submitted by Dustin Blaker are showing. There is still another suspect listed, even in June. Even in June. Brian has been arrested. Okay? He has been arrested. He is in jail. June 2023 is when Becca Barlow put in her declaration. There is still another suspect listed on these documents that they've redacted. My guess is it's allegedly whoever, the person they cleared. Maybe this is why they're redacting this person's name because it was the original suspect that they kept listing. I have no idea, but pretty interesting. So we'll keep going. Subject, victim. Here we go. This is the pink blanket with the red hearts, which tested presumptive positive for proteins using Blue Star. Area that luminesced is indicated with a Sharpie. Please test for blood. Okay. Blue Star. It's still tested positive with Blue Star after it had been washed. This is the blanket that got washed, correct? This is the blanket that Dylan was allowed to take home. Right? This is the blanket and jacket that they had to go get back from her, and then Blaker had to smash the table or let somebody's husband smash the piece of evidence to get it into the car because it wouldn't fit when he had to go back and get this blanket and jacket, correct? So even after it's been washed and cleaned, it's still testing positive with Blue Star, huh? On the zipper. Oh, that's fucking sucks, Dylan. That fucking sucks for you, honey. Ouch. Ouch. Damn. Pink blanket with red hearts, which tested presumptive positive for proteins using Blue Star. Area that luminesced is indicated with the Sharpie. Please test for blood. Interesting. And then here it is, the green and pink jacket, which also tested presumptive positive for proteins, which luminesced using Blue Star. The area that luminesced was the front zipper. There we go. Sorry. That was the jacket. My bad. Jacket. One is the blanket, one is the jacket. So the zipper here is still lighting up like a fucking Christmas tree with Blue Star. And they're like, yeah, can you please test for blood? Actually, we may have missed this. Oops. Oopsie. We may have missed this. What do you mean it's still lighting up with the Blue Star? Fuck. Really? Damn. Like, you gotta be kidding. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. If I remember correctly, these are the two pieces that there was evidence they had to go get from Dylan. Blaker went to get it. It was this damn jacket, a blanket because the defense wanted it, and then a table, a nightstand or something. And in Blaker's report, Blaker's saying, well, he had to let the husband smash the fucking table into pieces because he couldn't get it into the car. So he let them break it. And he's the one who went and collected. Right? I mean, I could be wrong. I really could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Lucy will definitely clarify for me in chat. One of my mods will. Somebody will clarify. But I don't think I'm wrong here. I'm almost positive. So, holy shit, Dylan. Holy shit. You have a blanket and a jacket that are lighting up with Blue Star, huh? Oh, that's fucking rough. Now I know why they were side-eyeing her, man. March 29th. Again, Dustin Blaker. We still have this suspect along with Kohberger listed. Get through this. Victims. I don't know what this one is. 2 exemplars, BTN, comparison only. I think those are the prints. Okay. Whoever it is, it's redacted. June 21st, 2024. This is 2024. Wait a minute. Where's the rest of 2023? Oh, wait. When's this one? Page one. This is 3/29/2020. Wait a damn minute. Okay, June 14th, 2023. So are you telling me, Dustin Blaker, that from June 14th, 2023 to February of 2024, you weren't submitting like evidence? Submission? Wait a damn minute. That's June of 2023. The blanket and the jacket. And then the next report he fucking files with ISP is March of 2024. June of 2023 to March of 2024, he hasn't submitted anything to ISP? What? Does that even sound right? Can that even be fucking possible? I don't know where it was found, Mama Five. I don't know where they were found. Couldn't tell you. I have no idea. It doesn't say. I think they were in fucking Dylan's room. I don't know. I have no idea anymore. Um, I'm super interested though. So his reports here, his submission, evidence submission forms, they jump from June of 2023 to I don't know. I felt like Lucy, weren't they still taking like weren't they still doing like samples out of the house and stuff like that in over the summer? Weren't they still like going back in and out of the house and stuff then? I don't know. I just felt like that's wild. Wow. Okay. So March 29th, 2024, Dustin Blaker here. He still has another suspect that's redacted listed in March of 2024. There's still another suspect listed here along with Kohberger in 2024. Spare room. Oh, okay. Spare room first floor with a t-shirt is where they were. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. The spare room that was all trashed and shit, huh? Yeah. The downstairs room that was like all trashed and shit. Hmm. So in March of 2024, they still have some other suspect listed here with Kohberger. They're doing these two exemplars for comparison only. Okay. June 21st, 2024, Blaker. I mean, it is what it is, guys. He's still, no matter what, how far you go down, we'll see how far we can go. Where Blaker has another suspect listed on here all the way through like 2024. It's pretty interesting when you think about it. Um, I don't know who that person is. They've redacted the name out, but they've definitely got some other dude, some other person listed as a suspect. Item 913, item 918, redacted. Okay. June 4th, Blaker. Wait, that's 2025. Is that what that said? Yeah, June 4th, 2025. So June of 2025, there's still someone listed as a suspect along with Kohberger. Major crime prints of redacted for comparison purposes only. This is in 2025. And then we have your chain of custody report here. Let's see, November 16th. And this is for the K-bar knife sheath right here, item 1. Okay. Chain of custody report for item 1.1. This is the front of the strap. Q1.1. Swab of front strap. Interesting. I thought Q11 is the fucking profile you got from the inside button snap. Motherfuckers. Lucy. Q11 is supposed to be the single source mail pulled from the inside button snap, correct? Interesting. Fucking. This says it's from the front of the strap. This is a swab of the front strap. Is 1.1. 1.2. Biostain swabs of edges on the handle portion. Okay, that's 1.2. 1.2. Q1.3. Swabs of edges on blade portion. Okay. Q1.4. Swabs of stains on back of the sheath. So, I'm going to pause here because as I was saying earlier, the documents are there, right? So there's certain people who continue to ask, where are you getting this information that there's DNA from another male in the back of the sheath? You're misunderstanding. You don't know what you're talking about. That's wrong. I'm not wrong. We're not wrong. It is what it is. These are their own Idaho State Police evidence documents. This is their chain of custody report for the sheath. Item Q1.4 is swabs of stains from the back of the sheath. Those stains tested presumptive positive for blood. ISP determined it was a mixed sample with a minor male contributor. That minor male contributor, his DNA is mixed with the victim DNA on the back of the sheath. It really is that simple. So, item Q1.4, swabs of stains on back of sheath. Because that's what we're talking about here. Okay. Item 1 is the sheath. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 are the areas they're swabbing. The item itself is 1. And then you have 1.1 is a swab. 1.2 is a swab of another area. 1.3 is the swab of another area. 1.4 is swabs from the back. 1.5, swabs of the inside surface of blade portion of the sheath. Then we have item 10. It goes into item 10. Left hand nail clippings from autopsy. Item 10.1. This is Xana. Okay, so item 10 is technically the clippings taken from Xana, left hand. That's item 10. 10.1 is the swab of the left fingernail clippings from Xana. And that's it. That's all they did for that. Item 100. This looks to be, I mean, I don't know if this is from his apartment or it's from the house. I'm not sure. Dark red counter swab tested presumptive positive for blood. It's a swab. Okay. So that's what all this is. It's just their chain of custody report. You can go through, okay? I just wanted to clear that up about the sheath. Here we go again. Item, oh no, that's 101.1. Forget it. Stain, uncutting from an uncased pillow. Pretty sure that's from his apartment. Yeah, because of the dates on it. So you can tell here, right? January 10th. I would assume anything before like December 30th, right? January 1st, that evidence is likely going to be from the house. But when you start seeing things for like January 6th, January 9th, things like that, my guess is that it's coming from his apartment. It's the stuff they collected either from his apartment or the parents' house or whatever. All right, let's get down here. So there's all kinds of biological samples they took. You have the mattress pad, the top of it, the bottom of it, all of those things. Mattress protector, blah, blah, blah. Where was it? It was one of these that I wanted to. Hair from it, yeah, trace material from back seat cushion, right? Hair in the vehicle. Okay. Buckle swab. So his buckle swab is item 108. 109 major crime prints from him. So 108 is his buckle swab, 109 are his prints. Then we have a DNA blood card, I believe 11, that's for one of the victims, if I remember correctly. Then they have all these DNA extracts from items 72 through 78, and then 101.1, 103.1, 103.2, 103.3, and 108. Trace material on floor mat of Kohberger's vehicle, 111.1. 112, yeah, seat belt, okay. It's all shit from his car. Gas pedal. We're getting there, friends. We're getting there. Hang tight, guys. Hang tight. We're getting there. It's almost done. Da, 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 da. 12. Right hand nail clippings. If I remember correctly, this is, yeah, this was interesting. So 12 is nail clippings, right? The right fingernail. So 12 is her right fingernails. 12-1 is the swab from the right fingernail. But then 13 and 13-1 are also swabs and fingernail clippings from the other hand. So 12 and 13 are Maddie, and like 12.1, 13.1, that's Maddie. Okay, let's get further down. What was that one? Item 125. Swabs of stains on objects in the west bedroom on floor 2. Trash can, west bedroom. Swabs of stains. Trash can in the west bedroom. Swab of stain on chair in the west bedroom. 125.2. Those are the 3 that they did DNA extractions for. So they have DNA from that right here, see? DNA extracts from 125.1, 125.2, and 126. Right? Yeah, right here. 126 is the swabs that came from the east bedroom door on the 3rd floor. 125.2 is the swab of stain on the chair in Xana and Ethan's bedroom. 125.1 is the swab of the stain on the trash can in their room. That's the west bedroom, if I remember correctly. So 125.1, 125.2, and 126 did have DNA extractions done for them. And the chain of custody is right here. It's item 127 for those DNA extracts. Interesting. Manual intake was required due to sequence issue with 100+ items. Interesting. Elimination prints from redacted. Huh. See that? April 14th. Lab staff had to do a manual intake due to the sequence issue with 100 plus items. Okay, same thing here. All this latent print stuff, I guess. Manual intake was required. Then we have her left hand here, 13, and then 13.1 is going to be the fingernail clipping swabs. That's what the turn signal from his car. That's the gear shift, okay. Right here. So, item 132, pink blanket with red hearts, which tested presumptive positive for blood, or positive for proteins using Blue Star. Area that luminesced is indicated with the Sharpie, please test for blood. And that was on what date? June 14th. Interesting. Okay. June 14th. Stay near top left corner. I don't know. Corner of what? No idea. Suspected biostain on the bedding. Stain near top right corner. Oh, okay. So maybe this was for the bedding. That's the left corner. Right corner. Okay. Green and pink jacket, which tested presumptive positive for proteins, which luminesced using Blue Star. Area that luminesced was the zipper. Please test for blood. Okay. Interesting. Blue Star. Her shit's lighting up with Blue Star, bro. In June. In June. Wait a minute. DNA extracts from 132, 1 and 134. Let's go back and look at that. Okay, so 132, 1 they got a DNA extract from. Stain near top left corner. They also got one from 134. Oh, item 134 is the DNA extract from 132. Okay. All right. I don't know how her shit is still lighting up with Blue Star in June. I really don't. All right, let's get through this chain of custody shit. Moving along, moving along. I've got about 20 more minutes, friends, and then I got to get my ass to work for real, for real. I have to bust butt for the next 3 days straight. I will be working like a dog. Oh. All right, let's see. DNA extracts from all of these items. Okay. Why is this? Oh, it should be like that. Should be like that. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Oopsie poopsie. Can you guys hear me? Hello? I think my mic. Sorry, guys. Had to readjust here. Can you hear me? My God, I was in another window reading, and I don't even know how long you guys couldn't hear me for, so sorry about that. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I saw my little light blink, and I'm like, what the hell happened? How long was it? Carrie, thank you so much for the gifted memberships, by the way. You are amazing. Carrie just gifted 5 memberships, friends. 5 of you just turned green. Make sure you give her a big thank you in the chat. Big thank you. Oh, you can hear me. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, if you got gifted a membership, you know, say a thank you to Carrie. She's awesome. Thank you so much for being an amazing supporter, Carrie. I truly appreciate you. Very, very much. Okay, so you guys could hear me. All right, sorry about that. I thought for sure, like, Okay. Let's see. Get down here. I know y'all been waiting for the pictures of this damn sheath. Don't worry, we're getting there. We're getting there. You've probably already seen 12 other creators show it, though. So, I mean, you know. But this is how my brain remembers things. I need to look at their docs. I highlight some things. And then try and put it in the steel trap. So, let's see here. We are almost there. I forget which page it started. Where these chain of custody fucking things end. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. Take a sip of coffee. While we wait. I didn't think it went on for this long, though. Damn. But it does. I can't believe that last night, too, I was up looking at all of this. This is why my eyeballs were burning out of my head. We're almost there. I feel like we're almost there. Because now we get the dates. You gotta see. Once you start looking at dates, yeah, we're getting there. Oh, the other thing I found interesting too is like certain things, okay? So you guys will see here. They have these, it'll say here, consumed in analysis. So they have like certain DNA, like swab of stain on the nail clippers from redacted in PA, right? So some nail clippers that they took out of the trash, I guess, from the Kohberger trash, right? Whatever swab it is, or whatever, 83-1, it was consumed in analysis. So you'll see that too a lot on some of these. They consumed the entire thing in analysis. So it's wild. Like whatever they extracted, they consume the whole thing in their analysis. Which is just wild to me. See right here, it says it again, consumed in analysis on this one. Cutting from one flosser from redacted. You can see the date, 12/28. So you will see that. Consumed in analysis, 12/28. Cutting from one Q-tip style swab from redacted PA. Just wanted to point that out. It would appear a lot of the samples, they're consuming the whole thing for analysis. So another one here, consumed in analysis. Swab from a Poland Spring water bottle with the lid from redacted PA. You have another one here, swab of the water bottle from number 61. So I think that's the FBI thing. Also on 12/28, consumed in analysis. 12/28, Eric Seat. So this here, item 97, these are all the DNA extracts from 79.1, 80.1, all of this. These are all DNA extracts here. And it looks like 12/28, pending DNA analysis. So If this is the trash stuff they took from the trash and it's still pending DNA analysis on 12/28, how did you get what do you mean you had your match on 12/28? I don't know. It just doesn't it doesn't appear to be matching up. But what do I know, right? All right, let's get down here. Here we go. Here we go. Finally, we're out of those chain of custody things. Now we're on to the forensic biology reports. Okay? How's everybody doing? We've got another like 15, 20 minutes here. We're going to look at some of these forensic biology reports. We'll look at the sheath, and then I will try and do another live probably, I don't know. I got to work my ass off the next few days, so we'll see, friends. Like I said, maybe one day soon. Maybe one day soon, YouTube will actually be something that I could do full time, but YouTube don't pay my bills, so I can't. Still love y'all, though. Wish I could hang out with you more. Evidence description. K-bar. Here we go. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate. The K-bar is Q. Okay, Q1.1, Q1.2, Q1.3, Q1.4. Q1.4 are swabs of stains on the back of the sheath. Now, what's interesting is that they're saying here again in another document here that item 1.1, Q1.1, is swab from the front of the strap. Yet, the state continued to say that item Q1.1 is the single source male DNA from the inside button snap. So, I don't understand. Because according to their forensic documentation from their lab workers and stuff, the people actually photographing it, testing it, blah, 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 swabbing it, 1.1 is a swab from the front of the strap, not the inside button snap. Actually, nowhere on here does it show the inside button snap was swabbed. I'm going to quote Becca Barlow here. In fact, the sheath in fact, what did she say? In fact, the sheath may not have been swabbed at all or something like that. What was her statement? For fuck's sake, Fitziana. I know you know what I'm talking about. When she's talking about, like, the swabbing of the sheath at Q1.4, blah, blah, blah. Something about, in fact, something may not have been swabbed at all for DNA. And it was a portion of the sheath. Right? I distinctly remember this. It's in one of her filings, and it's in the footnote. I remember reading it. So according to them, according to the lab here, the lab workers, item 1.1 is a swab of the front of the strap. Nowhere on here do you see that a swab of the inside button snap has been taken and is listed. Conclusions and interpretations. Results from presumptive chemical tests performed on item 1 indicated the presence of blood. Item 1 was swabbed for DNA collection. Trace evidence was collected from item 1, but was not examined at this time. Known reference samples from Madison Mogan, Xander Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Kaylee Gonsalves are required for DNA comparison. Please contact the laboratory regarding the status of these known reference samples. A known reference sample from any developed suspect is required for DNA comparison. Please contact the laboratory regarding the status of this known reference sample. Known reference sample. Disposition of the evidence. Items 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4 were forwarded for DNA analysis. Results will follow in a separate report. Item 1 was left in the custody of forensic scientist Tina Walthall pending latent fingerprint processing. So the sheath was left in the custody of forensic scientist Tina Walthall pending latent fingerprint processing. What? Okay. The empty packaging for items 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4 have been returned to the main laboratory evidence vault pending DNA analysis. The empty packaging for the items has been returned to the main laboratory evidence vault pending DNA analysis. Okay, so make that bigger. See, here we go. So let's see, date of the analysis, 11/17. The seal is with evidence tape. It's in a brown paper bag. The package labeling, and this is the knife sheath. Content description notes. Note, item opened by and examined while in the custody of forensic scientist Tina Walthall. Tan leather K-bar knife sheath, USMC logo, and snap button strap on front. Note, designated as side A in photos, belt loop and sleeve has rivets. Used bright light to examine. Observed white residue on and near the threads, dark areas of discoloration in the material, and very small reddish-brown stains on the back. Note, designated that as side B in photos. Tested 4 total stains on the back. Collected trace material onto adhesive of sticky notes. 3 on the back, 3 on the front strap. Pack in small manila envelope and left in the custody of FST Walthall. I used 1 swab to swab front strap, item 1-1. Oh boy. Used 1 swab to swab the front strap, so not the button, not the inside button snap. So item Q1.1 is not the inside button snap. It is not the inside button snap. It is just not. Katie, you became a new member. Welcome on in, Katie. Appreciate you. Welcome on in, new member. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Truly appreciate you. You have special emojis you can use in the chat if you like. Welcome on in. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate you. There's still 80 of you here almost. Nice. So Q1.1 is not the inside button snap. It's just not. It is the swab to swab on the front strap. Used 1 swab to swab the front strap. That is item 1-1. Used 1 swab to swab the edges on handle portion. That's item 1-2. Used 1 swab to swab edges on the blade portion. That's item 1-3. Use 2 swabs to swab staining on back. Item 1-4. Light red-brown transfer concentrated on tips. All stains collected. Note, item left in the custody of FST Walthall pending latent print analysis. Right here. Did it test positive for blood? Yes. So, right here, where it talks about use 2 swabs to swab O-tall POS staining on the back, item 1-4, it's right here, O-tall. It's positive. It means it tested positive for blood. Item source, Q, right? So 1-1, swab of the front strap, it's right here. Not the button. Nowhere in here, nowhere on any of this documentation does it talk about the button snap. But the button snap was not swabbed. And now I want to find that damn document where Bicca Barlow or Elisa Masseth, somebody is going off about, in fact, the sheath itself may not have been swabbed at all for DNA. Because it sounds like they left it for fucking fingerprint analysis first. I don't know. It sounds like they did the swabs and then they left it for fingerprint analysis. But I'm telling you, there is a document out there somewhere, I remember reading it, where Bicca Barlow or Miss Massett, somebody is alluding to the fact that the swabbing of the sheath. All right, there's a problem with the fucking swabbing, the swabber, whatever the case may be. Everybody remember that? Everybody remembers that, right? I hope. So according to this here, item 1.1 Q1.1 is the swab of the front strap, not the button. And this is the analyst doing the work. Whole swab, cut to DNA, remaining swab stick pack in manila envelope. Item source came from Q. That's the sheath. So everywhere you see item source, Q, it's going to be the sheath. Item 1.2, swab of edges on the handle portion of the sheath. Whole swab, cut to DNA, remaining swab stick, packed in a manila envelope. Item source, Q. Item 1.3, swab of edges on blade portion. Item source, Q. Whole swab, cut to DNA, blah, blah, blah. Again, item 1.4, Q1.4, swabs of stains on the back of the sheath. Item source, Q. Stained portion of both swabs, cut to DNA. Note, totaling 1 swab, with no staining left on swabs. Remaining swabs packed in a manila envelope. And then we have where it obviously, you're getting your test. Screening analysis controls. One of them is blue-green, it's positive. So if you get blue-green, it's positive. If no reaction, it's negative. So she must have got blue-green because she marked it as positive for that. Okay. And then here we go. Let's make this a little bit smaller so that we can... Okay, so area swabbed, she's showing you. It's all highlighted here. Q1.1 is not the inside button snap. She has drawn dots around where she swabbed. And it is not the inside button snap. This is why your analyst here and your swabber have not stated that they swabbed the inside button snap. That's why it's not even listed as an area that was swabbed, because it wasn't. Okay? It just wasn't. So, interesting. Super, super interesting. So, area 1.1 is right here. Okay? And she even drew a diagram. It's in purple. The area swabbed, item 1.1, is here in purple. It's not your inside button snap. Area 1.2 is in blue. It is the outer portion here. This is 1.2. Okay? Area 1.3, she did edge only here. Okay? She writes the little note, edge only. So in pink is going to be blade portion, edge only. Then we get to Q1.4. Okay? Right here. It's in purple. Area Q1.4. Swabs of stains on the back of the sheet that tested presumptive positive for blood. It's in purple. It's here. And she's even pointing to the droplets. Okay? She's literally pointing to where she swabbed here. Swabs of stains. Now you see them? They're these little tiny, tiny little dots. See it? Can you guys see that? I'll try and make it as big as I can. But you can see these very tiny, tiny little dots that she's drawn the arrow here too. Okay. Tested presumptive positive for blood. Okay, so area Q1.4 is that area on the back of the sheath. and it's marked here, individual stains swabbed. Okay, so it's super interesting. And then they're also talking about like white, I don't know if you guys can see it, but like some of the little white like dots or whatever, I don't know, but either way, so there is an area Q1.4, which is swabs of stains from the back of the sheath that tested presumptive positive for blood. ISP determined it to be a mixed sample, and there was a male contributor. That male contributor was never identified, nor was the DNA sent to CODIS or subjected to IgG. It is what it is. So if anybody's confused about Q1.4, it's there. Side B. Also, back of sheath. This is where she was talking about the, whatchamacallit, the little white stains and stuff. There were like white dots, white stains, something like that, that they were looking at on the back of this. What the hell's going on? Come on, load. Let me refresh real quick. Let me just refresh this page real quick, friends. 232. Stop sharing that for 1 minute. I just want to refresh the page. Refresh. Uh-oh. We might be going down. We might be going down, friends. We might be going down. It all might be getting ready to crash. What's happening here? Come on. There we go, 232. All right. What's happening? Yeah, it still doesn't want to load. What's it doing? Sorry, friends. Hang on. I gotta get off soon anyway, so it's fine. This shit don't want to load. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, let's do that. We'll do that. Do that. All right. So, it is a fact they did collect DNA from the back of the sheath, and there is a male mixed with victim. It is what it is. So sorry. You can even see here where she has not drawn arrows or anything like that. You can see the tiny little like droplets. Okay, the stains that she swabbed. And then we have this area here. Trace material that was collected in these two little spots where she's put the little green squares. There was some trace material collected from there, but still nothing about a button snap. Nothing about an inside button snap that was swabbed and or DNA recovered from the inside button snap. Not yet. Even here, she's showing a piece of trace evidence collected. Looks like a piece of hair here. Put the little green box around that and highlighted that area. So this is trace material that was collected. Okay. And it looks like a hair. And then trace material collected on the back side of the sheath as well. Still no button snap though, or inside button snap, I should say. Now you can clearly see this, right? So I know everybody was expecting this thing to be like soaked in blood or whatever, right? Because it was allegedly found with the victims, etc. But she's pointing out this trace material that's being collected. So look at all of those little spatters. Look at those tiny, 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 tiny little droplets, like high velocity spatter. Is what it looks like to me. I'm not nobody and I don't know shit, but that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a high velocity spatter. But there's some trace evidence also as well. She's highlighting. And then also these white stains. Almost look like bleach stains or something, but you can definitely see, in my opinion, this looks like high velocity spatter on the back of this sheath. Let's make that a little bit smaller so we can go down this way. And then she did say she used bright light. Trace material collected right here. You can barely see her green square, but it is right there. By the threads. There was some material collected by the threads. And then that's her little fucking checklist. It's Jade Miller. Okay. And then this is when they processed it for prints. So the sheath is item 1. It's being processed for prints. Right? Conclusions and interpretations. No latent prints were observed or developed. Interesting. Item 1 will be returned to the submitting agency. So they dispositioned it. They got the swabs, checked it for fingerprints, didn't get any latent prints or anything, and returned it. There you go. And then let's see. So, here we go. K-bar knife sheath, latent print processing for the K-bar knife sheath. 11/17. Item was examined by Stephanie Wilt while in my custody. Presumptive blood testing positive and samples for biology were collected by F.S. Wilt. Trace samples were collected on Post-it notes and placed in manila envelopes that were then repackaged with item 1. Okay. So presumptive positive for blood and samples for biology were collected off the sheath. This is for fingerprint analysis. Okay, ninhydrin, powder magnetic. Yep. Okay. And then this is the bag it came in, apparently. Okay. Which is interesting because it's dated 11/16. So 3 days later. It's coming from Moscow Police Department. You can see their evidence tag here on the right, the white one. Looks like what's super interesting is they don't have 11/17/2022. There's someone's initials there. Sheath with UMSMC logo. But yeah, notice whoever put this in this evidence bag, none of it's filled out, right? It doesn't say recovered by who, doesn't say victim, type of offense, received from, date, time, nothing. Nothing. It's just somebody wrote November 16th, 2022 on it. It's like they put it in the bag day of. It's like they put it in the bag on the 16th. I know I'm being an asshole. This is when they transferred it, but you know what I'm saying, right? So they're transferring it out because they're sending it off to the lab or whatever for testing, but there's nothing even on here. Who collected it? What's the date it was collected? This little white tag over here helps with nothing. You're supposed to fill all of this out. That's what, see all of the areas on the bag that have a spot for you to put information? That's why those areas are there. It's for you to put the information. For fuck's sake. Like, they didn't even... We don't know who put that in that bag. We don't know who put it in the bag. We don't know the date that it was collected. We don't know because they didn't fill any of it out. It's just this white tag stuck on the side of it that says, yeah, MPD. And then there's somebody's signature from the lab there that says 11/17 for when they received it, and this is how they received it. So the person at the lab receiving this piece of evidence, photographing it and saying, this is how I received it. Okay. Let's get over here. I gotta leave in a few minutes, friends. I'm so sorry. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me, but I really do gotta go. I gotta go to work soon. We'll take a look at this one here. Okay. So, it's a super clean sheath. Super, super clean sheath. Obviously, you can't see the indentation here, though. Where there was definitely a knife up in that bad boy at one point, you can clearly see the indentation from the knife that was in it. You guys can see that, right? Let me make sure everybody can see that okay. Can you see the indentation from where there definitely was a knife inside of there? Right here. See that? You can definitely see where definitely there's the indentation for a knife that was in this. 100%. You can definitely see the indentation. So that, you know, at some point there was a knife in this. You know, not saying it's Brian's or whatever. I'm just saying there was definitely a knife up in this motherfucker. You can see the indentations from it. All right. $242. Okay. Yeah, see, this is about the time that I know the universe is like, hey, you got to get going. The universe is like, nope, no more pictures, Annie. We're not going to load it. It's not happening. You need to leave and you need to go to work. So you know what? I'm going to take my cue from the universe. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to say a big, huge, absolutely fucking amazing, wonderful thank you to every single one of you who hung out with me today. I'm sorry we had to do this in 2 lives, okay? The earlier one crashed, but I will try to be back later, maybe later on tonight if I'm feeling up for it after work, or maybe in the morning or something. But I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who, you know, sent a super sticker if you became a member. Too Fast for Fleas, thank you so much. James Moen, he was like just throwing money at me in my earlier live, and you know what? I'm here for it. Love it, James Moen. Thank you so, so much. You are amazing, and I truly appreciate you. Bluebird became a new member. Amazing. Thank you so much, Bluebird. Welcome on in. I'm so happy that you made the live today too, honey. Carrie came in with a $20 super sticker. My beautiful Carrie, thank you so much. Carrie also gifted some memberships today. I think 5 of you you were turned green. So make sure you say thank you to Carrie. And yeah, we're going to pick back up, okay? I promise you. I'll come back and we'll pick back up where we left off, which is page 242. So we'll pick this back up at page 243, friends. And if it's not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. Pretty sure Lana's live, though, so, you know, go hang out with her while I go to work. But mods, thank you so much. James, everybody, thank you. Mercy Cat, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Swamp Rose, I miss you. Kiki, I hope you're doing well. Kane B, what up, gangsta? There you are. You guys go have an awesome day. I'm going to go kick ass at work. I need to make $1 million. Have an awesome day, guys. Take care. Bye.